said was this lady here is Miss Shirley. Now what she's working on is called finger weaving. Now we have 3 different types of finger weaves. The first type is a single weave, which is the first 3 that you see here, or 4 actually, 5. As you can see, it's a checkered or a plaid pattern that you see. It will go over and under as the weave, and then it'll go from right to left to right. The second type, or tali gunti, is called the double weave, and that's what Miss Shirley's working on her blue and white piece. Now, if you'll take a look, this is a double weave. This is a double weave. This one is a double weave. And this one is a double weave. As you can see, all the designs are different. The double weave is basically like working on a loom, but they're not using a loom. She'll just use her fingers. As well as these pieces that are back here. As we go through the village, you'll see different types of finger weaves. And just take a look and you can see the different types of designs that they have for the double weave. Off of it, then he'll start working it around, shaping it up till he has a shape like how he wants it. Now the second type of clay that we do, or pottery, is called the coil method. They'll take a piece of clay and lay it out flat. They'll take either a seashell or a piece of wood, and they'll make lines in it to score it. Now, after they've done that, they'll take another piece of clay and make it into a coil, and that's to wrap around that bottom piece. They'll score that coil on the top and bottom of it. They'll place that coil on top of that clay, like you see here. They'll continue to stack their coils and score them, and then they'll kind of smooth them together, like you see here on the inside. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll let their pieces sit and dry. Now the drying time depends on the weather. She made one of those little wedding vases like you see down there. And what she's doing right now is she's waiting on, or she's cooking it right now as we speak.
It's covered in the...
Oh, it's a little tiny thing?
Yeah, it's a little tiny piece.
Oh, okay. So what's the mass things there?
This is our carving area. Now, they do wood carving. They also do stone carving, such as the pipes that you see here in front of you. Now, the masks that you see here, this would have been carved with a flint knife. These were masks that we would have worn during different ceremonies long before we started using metal knives. Along with this tool that you see here, it was a hoe that we used in our gardens. The piece that you see for the digging piece would have been made from flint. The handle is made from rhododendron. If you're not familiar with that tree, it's all these smaller trees around us. Now, we also use gourds for our mask, like you see here. Now, gourds we use for different reasons, such as storage bowls, or even to drink out of, or even rattles, but we didn't eat them. The metal pieces that you see would have came from old pots and pans that were no longer of use once we started trading with the Europeans. The men would actually take those pots and strip them down into strips like you see here. And they'd make armbands or leg bands, purely for decoration. Or even the gorgets, also as a breastplate, like you see here. And you'll see some of the guys walking around with the different materials like you have seen just here. She is very well known here in Cherokee, but she's also well known around throughout the country. If you guys ever get a chance to go to the Smithsonian, you'll see some of her work there as well as here on her reservation. We're actually raffling off one of her baskets for $5 a chance. If you guys are interested in trying to buy one of her baskets, it's worth $400. So $5 ain't too bad. But anyhow, Miss Little Sue Lassie, and what she's working on is working on some of her splints river cane. But my basket that I'm holding up right here is made from hickory bark. This is the flint knife that I keep talking about. And this knife would have made this basket. Now, after we started trading for metal knives, we were able to create baskets like you see up here. Even the ones that you see hanging back here. Now, some of these baskets that you see hanging here have been here as long as the village, about 64 years. Now, we have single weave baskets, which means they start at the bottom and end up here at the top. And then we have double weave baskets. If you guys will take a look, you can see it looks like there's two baskets in one. Can you guys all see that? Now this is made from river cane. You guys aren't familiar with that? This is what river cane looks like. There's a green piece and then a piece that's been dried out. What they'll do with the river cane is they'll actually peel this outside part off to get to the inside to make splints like you see here. Now what Miss Lucille's working with is dyed river cane splints. The way that we'll get our colors, we use different types of bark or roots. This orange color comes from bloodroot. The brown comes from walnut and walnut bark. We'll make it. Flour off until they get to the dowel. They'll then take their knuckles and rub all those seeds off until it's just a dowel. They'll then hold it in between their finger and thumb, like how I am right now. They'd have a piece.
What would be on those darts?
Nothing's on the darts. We used them for hunting, so why would you want to
I
poison
mean, would it actually bring an animal down?
Yeah.
Really?
These are just practice darts. The actual darts would be about 1 foot to 3 feet in length. And the blowgun itself was between 8 to 12 feet. The longer it was, the more accurate it was.
Wow. Man, that was a good shot. I like that.
It's his darts.
Wow. She's good, ain't she?
Alright, well ladies and gentlemen,
That was cool, wasn't it? I like that.
and the air it takes is just like blowing out a candle, unless you got a whole lot of candles. They go about every...
Can I take a picture?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, huh? Thank you. Now these are some of the tracks we use. First one is air tracks, turn in here, baby. Just get there with the smoke's coming out now. Step up to right there. Well, around the door would be good. Right there. Right there. That's good.
We got a fire going in here.
I know it's coming out the chimney. Got it.
A sweat house.
Sweat house.
Sweat house.
It's a sweat house.
Council house. It's a council house.
A what?
The council house.
Can you go in if you can? Oh, where they all had to look. Wow. How neat is this? This is too cool.
He's making canoes.
Now I can't do it.